We're coming to the end of summer in Australia now. It's into autumn, but it's been a really hot summer, so it hasn't been much fun to fly outside. To compound that, it's also been windy, and that wind's continuing. So partly because of that, I've gotten to whoops in a fairly big way. The first one, of course, was the E13 that I modified to go on a Santa drone base. It gives me bigger motors, more power. It's not a bad little whoop, but the next thing I did, I put one of these, which is a Eachine TX03 on, but I found that, at least for the whoop, the cloverleaf is a bit too fragile. It's ideal in something like this, a Bugs 3, where it's nicely protected by the little dome that goes on the top. Flies well. I then made the mistake of putting one in a Bugs 6. So this is still a TX03, but the cloverleaf came loose, and I just soldered a straight copper wire to it. So yeah, just not suitable for that kind of aircraft. So the next thing I bought, I reckon, was a little generic camera with a transmitter incorporated to replace this one, which by the way is defective, which is why it's not in use. A slightly smaller camera, and without the limitation of the cloverleaf that's knocked off if it gets turned over. But in common, they have a problem, which is these things get very hot. Even though they're only 25 milliwatts or whatever it is, I'm finding I tend to blow through it after I stop the flight, because the longer it sits when it's not in the air, the hotter it gets. So it's a little bit of a design defect. So what happened was, when I heard about the Bold Clash B3, I could see it was a quality camera, and then I learned a little bit more about it. And here's one here that I've bought, and I've mounted on a Eachine E11 or a H67, whichever you want to call it. But the great thing with this that really caught my eye was the camera and the transmitter, the two separate boards connected by wire, so that's got to help with cooling. Another really clever design feature was the antenna, a whip antenna, comes out the back end. So, and it comes with a very robust canopy, and as well as that, it comes with a whole bunch of screws. I just needed 2 screws to attach it for this application, but it comes with screws, spacers, and all sorts of things. So that was quite attractive, because I've built another whoop which is created from the remains of a Hudson X4 107L, and I've just mounted on a bit of old credit card, but I'm going to use the spacers and the screws to mount the board properly with a bit of cooling underneath it, and also to put a little bridge over the top. In fact, I'll probably use the Bold Clash on top of this. I've just got 1 or 2 issues with this that I'm still sorting out, but it's quite a strong flyer. So I'm learning as I go, and there's all sorts of odds and ends to mix and match. And the reason I mentioned the Bug 6 with its single copper antenna, which is certainly better than not having anything at all on the stub that where I broke off the cloverleaf, is that the Bold Clash, as well as coming with everything else, comes with the antennas for the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So presumably, because the disadvantage with this is not properly earthed, it's just a single wire on the tab. This one, if I can figure it out properly, I can probably have the earth it as well, so it'll be smaller and it'll be custom made for 5.8 gigahertz. So I love the way you can mix and match stuff with this hobby. It's brilliant, just with a little bit of effort. So I thought I'd share that. Incidentally, I've had a flight with this, and the range is better than any of the other micro cameras with whip antennas that I've got. So it's looking like a quality product, and I'm very happy with it. This actually came from New Jersey. Normally my stuff comes straight from China, but in this case, American quality is impressive. So, just another update on how things are going with draining, and see you next time. Bye.